So, Danita, the book of Esther in the Bible, nobody ever reads it, but there's one statement in it that says, perhaps you were born for such a time as this. I hope you feel like that as you're stepping in this role, that this is what you're born to do, that it comes naturally to you, and that you step in with that kind of confidence.
I was, really not clear on what my guidance would be until the day I met you. I felt seen that day, and I felt like I really had a future at Volunteers of America, Texas. Not clear what that future was going to be, but I had been promoted up to a manager at the time, and which was a different role that I was hired at. But your tenure being here, your passion, it just beamed. You walked into not such a great situation as the interim CEO, and I felt even more confidence when you decided to take on to be our president and CEO. I watch you, but I learn from you. And so I think your candor and your ability to want to share to the people that report to you has been like my biggest, I call it my college journey of coming into this field. And so let me ask you a question. Are there things you want to see that, you started in your tenure that you would like to see myself and the team bring on to carry the Angela King torch?
Well, we jumped into affordable housing a few years ago, and I think we've started to make some inroads there. We've got a really good partnership with Volunteers of America National Services, which are called VONS, continuing that partnership, because I think one of the things I would tell you is that if you fan out to the larger organization, all the boats race. And sometimes affiliates they try to work at cross purposes with national, and we're not always good partners on either side. So maintaining those partnerships, I think, will enhance the growth opportunities you'll have over the next few years, both in housing development and, of course, now in housing management. So kind of looking to your colleagues, seeing what they're doing, what's working, what you can replicate here will save you a lot of time and heartaches. And you can also learn, I tell people, here's the book of what I've learned to do right. Here's the book of what I've learned to do wrong. Pay attention to that book, too. By looking at other people's learnings and examples, you'll know, don't do that.
I remember that day sitting in when you walked in and you saw Lavender, which was our inpatient treatment facility, and you saw the building at Yale. People coming in, they have no idea what you or myself walked into. And to look at it today, you have a lot to be proud of. And, and I feel really resilient as a new CEO to say, I know where we were. A lot of times people come in and they see all this hard work you did and just, slide in and say, hey, I can do what Angela does. They don't know what the journey consisted of. So I feel part of being by your side to have seen those things and added, to the recipe of making what we have today.
Yeah, sometimes you have to let go of things. We had a couple of things we had to say, we're not going to do this anymore, and that was a hard message, and you were there when we had to make those decisions. So I think you've seen the example of that. I think one of the things you're going to feel differently about, Danita, is you're going to step into 24-hour care. Here in Houston, at the end of the day, everybody goes home to their own place, their own home, and you're going to step into we're responsible 24 hours a day. Sometimes for very vulnerable people, like I've said, folks who depend on us for every drink of water. You'll feel the weight of that, but the thing I would say to you, and the thing you've got to your advantage, is you've already got folks who trust you to help bear the weight. And I think you've had the opportunity to learn and know a lot of the folks, to value them. They'll feel that, and that will contribute greatly to your success, because part of the reason you've been here so successful here in Houston is you've established relationships. It's the same process. People trust you. They know they can trust the organization, and before they trust the organization, they have to trust you.
I always look at our team, our executive team, and look at everybody's superpower. And I do think my superpower it is relationships and really seeing people. When I think about some of the individuals that, reached out to me when the announcement was made internally, they're people that I've talked to and I spoke to, but I didn't think they would remember me, or I didn't think I made an impact on them. But, I think, whether it's externally or internally, seeing people and people, seeing you visible and being present and really caring. I've seen you do that, as you call it, managing by wandering around. And, since the pandemic, I've been really intentional about that. I've been intentional about talking to someone that works at a group home. We don't have them here in Houston, but there are people at the group home in the DFW area. They know me by name, and they actually have my cell phone number. And being able to phone a friend, like Regis Philbin used to say, it is such a resource to have that is invaluable, and it's not anything you can monetize. I know the credence that it's lonely at the top, but I don't feel alone. I feel really supported by the team that's around me, the national office staff. I've been reached out to by the affiliate executives who have already told me, Danita, I don't care if it's small, call me, I'm here. I had multiple CEOs, but I have the best CEO to call. I have someone who will come and show up at the office if I need that person there. And I think it's the beauty of this transition, and it's felt so surreal. It is an honor and a pleasure. I don't take it lightly. There were a lot of people that wanted this job, but VOA, as I tell people, before I had Skylar, VOA was my first child. I poured into this work because I felt the gap in Houston and what we needed to make this organization grow and flourish. And being a sought-after organization, when Angela calls me with this smile, and we're on the phone and I hear her smiling, when one of the funders call and say, hey, there's been a disaster and there's not an RFP process. Volunteers for America, Texas, you all are the ones that are going to get this opportunity. It makes me just think about the preparation we've made, the intentional work we've done, and it feels really, really, really just amazing to feel like, the hard work, is recognized.
Well, I've always said that Jesus loves me because he just sends the right people to apply for these jobs, and I've appreciated that. But I think, Danita, you had to go through these disasters here. Yeah, you may not have had the weight of 24-hour care, but we didn't have hurricanes either. And the hurricanes particularly defined who we were. But, they also taught you that every trial, every disaster comes with opportunity. And the opportunity we had after Hurricane Harvey to step into home repair redefined who VOA was. That first meeting we went to, they looked at us like we had two heads because they didn't know we could do anything other than the FOC. And I was just so irritated going, we can do a lot of things. And they gave us this little bit of money and we went out and did great things. And then they gave us other people's money because they weren't doing anything. And that was because of your efforts, and it gave you relationships. It gave us credibilities. So there will be hard things to come, but I will tell you, within every hard thing, there is an opportunity. And where we are today comes from you being able to step in and say, hey, guess what? We can really do this and perform. That's why we have a new home repair program in Dallas, because we performed here in Houston, and then your folks came to Dallas and performed, and now we're getting a big opportunity as a result. All comes around full circle in the family. So you've done your part, and I'm sure you'll do it in the future.
When I think about my favorite, it's really many of them, my favorite thing about our relationship and you as my leader, you've trusted me. And I probably did some things to gain that trust from you. But, you came in to come in and assess an affiliate like you spoke about that was in trouble financially. You trusted me, and I'll never forget the day you looked across from me. You was like, I explained to you what my plan was, and you just looked at me with that look you have. And I, of course, can read it today. You were like, Danita, who hired you? And then I told you about a lady who, wasn't here very long, and she had left. And I said, Angela, I got a promotion after being here 60 days because I figured I better do the job. I'm going to teach somebody else how to do it. At that very day, I knew that I had a leader that, believed in autonomy and trust. You give us really the opportunity to be in our subject matter expertise and support our clients and our communities that we sit in. I'm the only executive here in Houston that hadn't been with you all. And I know, we would meet through Zoom before we got to Zooming and Teams use. We did it on the phone, and, to feel that connection with the team and having you guys come in, and we would host board meetings here. It just really joined us in a way where I constantly felt supported, although I was here alone, but it gave me the confidence to know that you trusted me, the board trusted me, and I had the ability to really take Houston to the next level. I could take the affiliate to the next level if given the opportunity to lead.
There's a plaque in my office that I'm leaving that says, jump. It's not as wide as you think. Be brave, get some support, and I think you're going to do great things.